What's popping, homies? It's your favorite homegirl, Gossip Girl, coming in with a story that was sent to me, and this is about 5 teens who are charged with capital murder in Mississippi after a girl killed in a robbery. Okay, let's just get right on into it. 5 teenagers ruined their lives over a robbery. Let's see what happened. In Biloxi, Mississippi, police arrest 5 teens charged with capital murder after a robbery in Biloxi, Mississippi turned deadly Monday afternoon, February 24th. Investigators said they robbed a girl under the age of 18 and threatened her at gunpoint. A fight broke out and the victim was shot and killed. Police identified the 5 teens as a 17-year-old Yakisha Blackman, 15-year-old Willow Blackman, 15-year-old Jasmine Kelly, 17-year-old Jarvis Cook, and 17-year-old Jaquez Porter. Bond for 4 of the suspects was set at $1 million. Cook was granted no bail because he was already out on bond for aggravated assault when this crime was committed. These young people are just ruining their lives. My gosh, what is going on? I don't understand. What did this girl have that they wanted so bad from her that they had to rob her at gunpoint? They just ruined their whole lives, okay? 17-year-old Yakisha Blackman and 15-year-old Willow Blackman, you are very young. Okay, 15 and 17. Another 15-year-old Jasmine Kelly. Another 17-year-old Jarvis Cook. But he wasn't granted any bail because he was already out on bond for aggravated assault when this happened. Okay? And 17-year-old Jaquez Porter. I mean, what did this girl have? You get what I'm saying? What did she have for them to want to rob and take? I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I just don't understand. And the girl that they shot, she was 16 years old. She was 16 years old. She was 16 years old. The Biloxi police were called at 1:48 p.m. Monday for a medical emergency at a home in the 2000 block of Rustwood Drive off Pops Ferry Road near the Margaret Sherry Library. The Biloxi Fire and a medical response began triage on the woman and discovered she had been shot. She was transported to a local hospital and later died of her injuries, said Marge Christopher. Oh, jeez, I tell you. She was identified as Madison Harris, 16, of Biloxi, by Harrison County Coroner Brian Switzer. She died in the operating room around 3:30 p.m., Switzer said. An autopsy is expected to be performed Wednesday in Jackson, he said. Charged as adults with capital murder are 5 suspects. Oh, Lord Jesus, I tell you, this is just sad all the way around. The police said the 5 teenagers went to the victim's home to rob her and threaten her with a gun. During a fight, the victim was shot, as I told you. The suspects fled from her home in different directions, but they still got caught. So what's the point of even running? If anyone have any information, call Crime Stoppers or get in touch with your local police department. I tell you. What did this girl want? Oh, so as I'm reading further, they were trying to steal marijuana from 16-year-old Madison Harris when she was killed. So they tried to rob this girl for marijuana? Seriously? Seriously. So it took all 5 of these teens. They smoke weed, obviously. Plus 16-year-old Madison, they smoke weed, right? So she had the weed. So they want to go over there and rob her for it. End up killing her over marijuana. I don't understand this one. Lord, take the wheel, and take the wheel. Because, honey, this is just something else. This is something else. So let's just keep this moving right along. So the second part of this news is about the coronavirus. New York gets $40 million in emergency funds for coronavirus threat. Trump set to address the nation. Oh, God. New York is freeing up $40 million in emergency funds to help healthcare providers respond to a potential coronavirus pandemic. Governor Andrew Cuomo announced this today, Wednesday. Mayor Bill de Blasio and Governor Cuomo helped separate events to address preparations for a potential outbreak in New York, which they confirmed has 0 cases. Cuomo announced the emergency $40 million appropriation for the New York State Department of Health, while de Blasio called on the CDC and the federal government for more assistance in testing, screening travelers, and providing masks. The scrambling comes a day after the CDC warned the American public to prepare for an outbreak of disease, which has spawned more than 80,000 cases around the world, but relatively few so far in the U.S. Cuomo said $40 million appropriation will help to hire additional staff, procedure equipment, and other resources necessary to respond to the coronavirus threat. While there are still no confirmed cases of novel coronavirus in New York, these aggressive actions, including $40 million in emergency funds, will help ensure our healthcare system is equipped with the necessary staff, supplies, and equipment needed to respond to any emergency situation that may arise in the future, he said. In his address Wednesday, de Blasio was critical of the time it has taken for the CDC and federal government to make such a warning. It has been clear for weeks now that it is not with question of it, but when he said it, it is important that the federal government is accepting that reality and acting more aggressively on that. He called on the CDC to not let perfect be the enemy of good in its testing practices, proposing that the CDC work with underutilized local labs to do more high quality testing faster. He also called on the CDC to add more countries to its testing regimen for travelers. He said all countries that were under a traveling warning should be added, including Hong Kong, Iran, Italy, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, and Thailand to limit the spread of this epidemic. The mayor said he was also asking the federal government to help speed up the city's order of 300,000 more masks for healthcare workers. New York City has already distributed 1.5 million masks, and it needs more now. However, he said New Yorkers don't need to be wearing masks right now. I guess I gotta read this part. President Donald Trump pushed back Wednesday against criticism that this administration isn't doing enough to meet the coronavirus threat, as lawmakers call for giving disease fighters much more money than $2.5 billion the White House has requested. A day after he sought to minimize fears of the virus spreading widely across the U.S., Trump prepared to hold a White House press conference with experts from the CDC and prevention. Meanwhile, health officials said 3 new coronavirus cases have been reported in the U.S., bringing the tally here to 60 in total. Trump tweeted, why is Trump even tweeting? I just don't, never mind. This is not about that. Trump tweeted Wednesday that the CDC Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar and others in the administration are doing a great job with respect to coronavirus, and accused some new outlets of panicking markets. So they are spending $40 million to hire extra staff and all that other stuff. But this is the thing with New York City, and because I'm a New Yorker, I can, talk about these issues more freely because I've lived it. My thing is, they can find money to do everything else. Not saying that we don't need to be cautious from the coronavirus, but they can find money to do other things than what they're supposed to do to help the people in New York City. Meaning, they can find money to do this, but they can't find money to get the homeless off the street. They can't find the money, or they don't want to find the money, or they don't want to spend the money on getting the homeless off the street. Putting them in shelters, building more shelters for them, making sure that these New York City Housing Authority places have heat, programs for the elderly. Okay, they want to they want to take certain things away. They want to do other things, but they have money for what they want to spend money on, and then ask for an additional $2.5 billion. So who's paying for all of this? The taxpayers, right? Not saying that we don't need to be aware of the coronavirus and treat it as it when it comes in and prepare for it. We have to prepare for it. It's true. Because right now, a lot of places in New York City is starting to hurt. Meaning businesses, it's definitely in Chinatown, is starting to hurt from the coronavirus threats. Okay? People are not traveling as much in those areas. The tourists, that's where they make their biggest money from, are not traveling in those areas because Chinatown, Wuhan, China, coronavirus. They mesh all that together. Even though New York City, right, we don't have that, but yet they did find 60 cases so far. But they didn't. It's not like they spread it out there. They put it out there. So my thing is this. I think what's going on with New York City, there are more cases than what they say it is. Or something is going on and they're just not saying what's going on because now they are in crunch time to prep. And they are prepping hard, okay? If nothing was coming this way, or if nothing was over this way, they wouldn't be prepping as fast, and they wouldn't be talking about getting additional monies. So that's that. I would like for you guys to keep up with this, watch the news, or if you don't watch the news on your television, look at it online, read up on it, be knowing what's going on, because that's the only way we're going to know is if we watch the news or read about it online. So I try to give as much info as I can, but some channels have been getting hit, with their videos disappearing if they speak about the coronavirus too much. So I will be talking about it periodically, or you could catch my community post. I might post something there if I don't make a video about it. But so far, I hope you enjoyed this news for tonight, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you to all of you who've been sending me stuff to talk about. I do have it. I've been looking over some things. I can't do them more, but I can do what I can, and I push forward the most important ones first. Okay, so thank you for sending me and thank you for your love and support. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. If it's good information to share with your friends and family, have them come over. If you like my channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video or whatever. Okay, I do gossip and I do news. Okay, so there it is. So you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you later. Bye.